to my party, we're just getting started. A life is a dream or a nightmare scarring. Hand me a drink cause I think I'm going all in.
Good afternoon, good evening, good morning. Welcome to the Armoury. Welcome to Full Time Sports Network. Welcome to Arsenal News. Hopefully my Wi-Fi is not going to be a problem. I've just got the warning that it's unstable. But no, it's coming back fine. Canners hopefully will be joining me very, 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 very soon. I know he's back, so hopefully he will be able to jump in very soon. But big up to everyone before we get started. There's going to be quite a few talking points today, so we'll get into them very shortly. Big up to Tamina. Declan Rice second bid accepted over £101 million. He is coming to Arsenal, is what Tamina says. We're waiting. We're waiting for the official decision by West Ham if it's been accepted or not. Arsenal are leading the race of... Yeah, we'll get into Lavia as well. Coming to Arsenal, that is a talking point tonight. Also leading the race for Moussa Diaby. See, Tamina's doing my job for me here. But yes, that is also a talking point in a moment. Canners is backstage now, just seen him. Didn't want Caicedo anyway. Look, we'll get into that as well. That is also a talking point. Tamina has pretty much gone through my whole schedule and obviously just gone every talking point. But yeah, big ups to Tamina. And yes, we'll get into Russo as well, because that's also a talking point. Tamina, have you been looking at my script? Big up to Ollie. Hope you're having a great day. Thank you very much. Moss talking Canada as always. Big up to Tony, big up Bobby and Canners. That seems the perfect time to bring the man in. Hello, Canners.
How are you? Oh dear.
You're right, mate.
You okay? Yeah.
Yeah,
not too bad.
Ah,
what a week, what a day. God,
yeah,
blimey.
It's a mad one, but it's going to get madder when we start talking about the talking points in a moment. Get into the last two comments before we get started. For me, Havertz and Pepe have had similar careers at Chelsea and Arsenal, yet we're prepared to pay £55 million for Havertz, and we can't even get £1 for Pepe. Make it make sense. I'm sure we could get £1 for him, but we're trying to get a little bit more. Look, we'll get into that as well. Not so much Pepe, because I don't really want to talk about Pepe until there's some concrete information about him. But at the moment, there's nothing. Good evening, gents. Big up to Brenny. Hope you're doing well. Right. We're going to get into the news that I don't particularly like talking about, because unfortunately we lost someone this week from the Arsenal family, is what I want to call it. So let's talk into, unfortunately, John Hollins died on the 14th, so 2 days ago. Sadly passed away at the age of 76. Now, I looked him up. I've written a little bit of information about John Hollins for people that don't know, including myself. I know nothing because he's just before my time of supporting Arsenal. So he joined at the age of 32, which was incredible to think of, from QPR. He actually played 127 games for us, scored 9 goals. He became the captain as a right back because he was a midfielder in 1982-83 season, which was when we're having issues with our youth and stuff like that. He was a Cup Winners' Cup finalist in 1980. He was player of the season in 1981-82 season. He was very well loved for his leadership and passing skills. Also, this one was for Tony mainly. He was the Weymouth manager in 2008 as well, so I noticed that. And for anyone that knows his son is a journalist and won Strictly Come Dancing in 2009. That is the same Chris Hollins that is John's son. So that was a little bit of information about John, but it's a very sad time because obviously we'd never like losing anyone related to Arsenal. But it seems a bit of a crazy one considering we got him from, well, he was at Chelsea and went to Chelsea after us, but QPR between that as well. But Canners, do you remember anything of John Hollins?
So I think I might be having a few issues with my laptop, but if you can hear me,
Yeah, I can hear you, mate.
Yeah. Bit of it's a sad one. I remember a bit of John Hollins as well because I knew him as well when I used to play as a youth team player at Chelsea, and he was a first team manager then. Saw a lot of him. Really good guy. Always was chilled and relaxed, and was kind of a vibrant person. So in that sense, as a little kid, kind of growing up, and you kind of see, obviously as an Arsenal fan, I knew that he had played for Arsenal and everything. So it's really sad news, and my condolences to his family. May he rest in peace. He was a battler, he was a little fighter for Arsenal. For obviously I was quite young when he was at Arsenal. Was never one really to kind of it wasn't one of the flair players that we used to have in those times and everything. And I think at that time, really, we was kind of going through a little bit of a barren spell in terms of, the 80s weren't really the great kind of era. Well, especially the early 80s anyway, wasn't really a great time for the Arsenal. But, I obviously being in close proximity to the guy when I was a young kid, playing football, it was... it's sad actually, and as I said, condolences to the family and may he rest in peace.
100%. But I just wanted to bring that news and bring a bit of detail because obviously some people would have heard about him dying and probably won't know much about him playing for Arsenal. So I just wanted to give him a bit of information. I didn't know enough, so I've had to do a bit of research today just to bulk it up a little bit. But condolences to his family, condolences to his wife and Chris as well. Let's move into the actual Arsenal news now. Okay. Now, there's breaking news within the last hour on this, so we'll get into this. Arsenal are closing in on a deal for Kai Havertz. Now, a bid went in, and it has been rejected, but it's not a million miles away from what Chelsea want. So, there's still a deal to be had. So, I'm happy about that. Canners, what do you make of this signing if he does sign for Arsenal?
Do you know what? I think it might be a clever signing, because you got to remember, name me one. I'd love to know who Chelsea's Player of the Year was last year, because none of them were, pulled up any trees or whatever. I don't know what was going down. Sorry.
Probably the groundsman.
Probably, yeah. It wasn't that bad actually for Stamford Bridge. So no one really pulled up any trees last year at Stamford Bridge. You got to remember he's young. He's only 24. Seems like he's been around for ages. Scored the Champions League winner. So look, he's would he be first choice? I don't know. Where would he play? How would he fit into our system? It might be a plan B, which sometimes we could do with in terms of if the things that Jesus likes to do when he likes to drop that little bit deeper. My only concern though with him is his ability to actually hit the back of the net consistently. I know he did it quite well in Germany. Obviously, we know that the Premier League is a different kettle of fish. But listen, I think if we can get the player that came to Chelsea, just before he actually Chelsea ruined him, so forth. I think it might be a smart bit of business. I don't think we will pay what Chelsea paid for him. I think it was over 70 million. I think what Chelsea paid.
Yeah, they
I don't
basically
think
want their money back.
Yeah, that's a difficult one, really. If the players are open to leave, it depends how much the player wants to leave. And he's sold by our project. Listen, I think he's a big guy.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes it could be, I've seen him score some really decent goals with his head as well. So it could be a good plan B for us to kind of, play with false nine, but someone who can also get it and hold the ball up. I'm thinking is if Arteta is looking for someone up top who has that kind of bit of presence and can change the way we play and bring other players into what we do. So it could be a smart bit of business. I'm open to it. I know there's a few people on our fan base who are, it's another Chelsea reject. Why are we helping them out with FFP and blah, blah, blah. But look, if it makes sense and it helps us, fair enough. It might help them somewhat. But listen, don't cut your nose to spite your face, I say. If Arteta believes in it, I think he's got quite a bit of credit in the bank at the moment, Arteta. And if he believes that it can work, then so be it.
Exactly. Just move on to some comments while we talk about Kai. Rest in peace from Brenny, according to John Hollins. James is very open to this, but only if he is our centre forward and the price is right. We're playing that game again. If we are looking at this skill set, he is very complete, good aerial ability, great on the ball, just decent defensively. I think it's shrewd if we can do it for the right price. Look, the reason I've put him in the German shirt, I could have had him in the Chelsea shirt. I chose the German shirt for a reason. When he was playing in the Bundesliga, I wanted him because I watch a lot of Bundesliga and I thought he was very, very good. For whatever reason, it just hasn't worked at Chelsea. I've watched enough Chelsea last season and the season before because I do a lot of watch-alongs. He's just not shown me the signs of the player that I thought we would be seeing. But what I am positive about, for Germany, he does do it. And that's important. If the fact that he still does it internationally says it's in there, it's just not working at Chelsea. Tony saying here, think of the players that had a torrid time at Chelsea: Salah, KDB, Sean White-Phillips. Talking about Sean White-Phillips, look out for his daughter. I don't know if you've seen clips of his daughter playing football. My word, has she got some skills.
Wow. How old is she?
Oh, she's about like 7 or 8. She's really young, but honestly, they're drilling her so well, and she looks amazing. But yeah, if you see the clips, watch it because it's absolutely phenomenal.
Brilliant.
Yeah, absolutely love it. Sorry, I've just gone on a tangent there, but it just made me think of it because I saw this clip yesterday. It was brilliant. He needs to bulk up a lot. He does, but I think it is a very good plan B. Big up to Gunnar Greg, 60 million for a plan B. What's Fabio then?
I get what he's saying there, 60 million for a plan B. But I mean, do you know what the thing is though? Because the level of our first team is as such, what we happen to have over the last few years is once one of our top players gets injured, the drop off for the squad player coming in to replace him has been so it's chalk and cheese.
Yeah.
And I think it makes sense in a sense, where Arteta and Edu are looking to have not like maybe when I said plan B is a wrong word, maybe someone else a different approach, an alternative approach, someone where the drop off isn't, you can't see the drop off in the way, in the ability of what we do and how we play. So yeah, I think it's such as the quality of our first 11. Buying someone else in, it's going to be around that price to kind of get someone or very, very shrewd in the market.
Yeah. Look, I said a few weeks ago, this is the type of profile that we're looking at, is someone that's taller, that can still do the pressing. Kai Havertz can do that. He is taller. He can actually head the ball, which not many of our players can. Not that unable to. It's, he's tall. Most of our players are quite short. So he adds extra height. And if you think about it, and I was thinking about this yesterday, I was thinking, why can't Havertz just play behind Jesus? Because that rings a bell. Bergkamp, just behind. You know where I'm going with this, don't you?
I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying. And all right, it's probably the worst thing to do, but when you kind of hear that we link to a player and then you watch some YouTube clips and you kind of think, oh, it's the worst thing to do, because I'm pretty sure I look quite decent if you put a YouTube montage of me together. But the thing is, what I'm saying is that I kind of, oh, can he actually do that kind of, So I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying.
It's possible. I think, honestly, Arsenal next season will be like a Swiss Army knife. It'll be just multi-purpose. There's going to be. The fact is, every target we're linked with are versatile. They're not just a right back. They're not just a centre back. They're not just a midfielder. They can play multiple roles, and that is so important to the way that Arsenal want to set up.
Absolutely. I think. I know it's going to sound cliche or kind of like with but Arteta wants footballers.
Yeah.
People who are versatile, players that are versatile, that can do more than 2 or 3 things. They can play multiple positions and adaptable into a fluid system that he wants to play. Obviously, you can see towards the end he totally switched up our formation. And he wants that versatility in his players in order to enable him to adapt to any situation. And I think that was probably one of the things which killed us, especially in the game against Man City. He couldn't really. Man City knew how we was going to set up. Man City had no surprises from us. Pep knew that he could maneuver his team and switch them about, and that really. What was where we kind of like fell off, and Pep won in that sense.
I'm back.
I thought it was me who'd gone. Actually, I was like, "Oh,
no,
okay,
it's
my machine's just gonna."
It's not even raining. It's not even raining.
I know
why.
It's extreme weathers in this country, isn't it? If it's too cold, then it all messes up. If it's raining, cats or dog, it messes up. And if it's too bloody hot, like it is today, it messes up. So it's all right.
Yeah, it's ridiculously hot. I've got the fan on and everything. It's just I'm ginger. This does not suit me, guys. This does not suit me. When obviously you all know that I'm ex-army. When I was abroad and in hot weather, I just used to sit in the water butt when I wasn't on, on assignment or something. I was just sat in the water butt, and I'm not even joking. That's not even a joke. That's what I was doing. Big up to Bargav. Would rather have Mason Mount, but Havertz can do a job. Well, obviously we were linked with Mason Mount, but I think the fee again for him was too high. Look, we're being sensible. We've got a lot of targets, a lot to do, so we need to be sensible. Which is why we'll talk about someone else very shortly. Chelsea Player of the Year was Lukaku. Is
no way. Actually, that can't be real, can it?
You can't give Player of the Season to someone that wasn't at the club, can you?
Did he? He didn't play any games for them, did he, this season or this past season?
Don't think so.
No. Freddie, come on, man. You're having us on there.
Is he winding me up?
He's got to be. He's got.
Hasn't Havertz has probably been the best player to it. Yeah, he has. He has been good. It's a big risk at 60 million.
The thing is, though, 60 million is the new 20 million.
Exactly, yeah. James saying there are no plan Bs. It's a squad game. We need to elevate the team collectively. Minutes played. The game started 100%. I want to see loads of different teams when I do the previews next week. I want to, next season. Because of wages transfers from Premier clubs, it's going to be more of a trend versus selling for a loss overseas. 100%. I see him in the Xhaka role. A lot of people have been saying this, to be honest. Christian Arenze, big up to you. 60 million for Kai Havertz makes me think how we are spending. How well are we spending our money? After the signings of Rice and Havertz, what will we have left to improve? I've got Nets is going to be even tougher. Look, we are expected to sell over 100 million in players. So again, we'll use that money to buy new players. I expect us to spend about 340 million, if I'm honest. So yeah, really can as I thought you wanted basketball players. That's all right then. Thank goodness for that.
But you know what? Such as the mess Chelsea were in, that's why it had me there.
Yeah, I wasn't that shocked. I was like, it's mad, but honestly, it wouldn't shock me. Right, let's move on to the next story. Arsenal are just one step away from signing Rice. It's literally just the payment details and the exact amount that they want in a specific order. However, I will say that Man City are starting to look like they're building a bid. And what concerns me about Man City is the fact that they've got a player that West Ham want. That's the bit that concerns me, is the Calvin Phillips. Now, can I see Calvin Phillips wanting to go to West Ham? Because that's the important factor. No, I can't, to be honest. But look, I don't expect much to happen. Nothing's going to happen with him personally until Tuesday, because he's away at England. But West Ham, they haven't rejected it yet. Not that I've heard, anyway. Have you heard that they've rejected it publicly yet?
What?
The second bid. The second bid. Yeah.
I wasn't aware of the second bid. So,
okay. So 101 million package.
My only concern then would be the actual what was how much is given to them straight away, and I'm pretty sure that is the issue.
It is a sticking point.
Yeah. I mean, it's understandable. You know, the thing with this is that transfers of when it goes past the 50 million mark, I believe it then gets really, really sticky in terms of negotiation and how much is paid over, in terms of years, etc. And so, it's God. I hope they get it done. I mean, the signs to me are that it's practically done.
Yeah,
I think there's a gentleman's agreement with Rice's camp and Arsenal. But
I'm totally chill. I'm still totally chill about the situation.
I'm with you.
Look,
until you give me a on our WhatsApp group, Bobby. I'm all right.
I'm still chill about it because the reason is we've pulled out the Caicedo. That is for me the concrete proof that they are going. No matter what, they'll sort out the deal. They may pay. Arsenal may have to pay more than they actually want to at the beginning, and that's fine. But Arsenal will do whatever it takes to get this deal done. So
I'm surprised with the amount, simply because the player it's a gentleman's agreement also with the club and the player that he is allowed to leave if a decent bid comes in. And I would have thought the £80 million mark would have been a decent bid, considering a player who would probably get about 60 million a year later.
Yeah. Look, I'm with you. I think the money is crazy, but it's not my money, so I move on from that. However, I would have thought that Declan would have said, "Okay, don't ask for stupid money." Because what annoys me the most is the fact that Jude Bellingham has just gone to Real Madrid for what will is technically going to be less than 120 million, technically. And Jude Bellingham, I'd take him all day, every day, no matter what. So yeah,
it's crazy right now. I mean, who would have thought in your wildest dreams that we'll be paying 100 million? Arsenal will be paying 100 million pounds for a player. That's just nuts. Wow.
Yeah. 100%. I've always expected us to lose out on Rice. Can see a City swooping at the last minute. Look, they've got the ability, but I know a lot of people hate this bit, but it is really important. Declan's got a young family. Not only has he got a house in London, but it's a custom-built house that he designed. So he's comfortable in London. He wants to stay in London. There's an offer from Bayern Munich that's come in. He just doesn't want to go. And it says a lot if he's turning down Bayern Munich. For me, that's saying a lot. Chill. It is just day 3, but it's going to be like this until the window's shut, guys. I'll tell you this now. He should really be 70 to 80 million pounds if Jude went for 100 million. We can't really compare this because England to England is different to Germany to Spain. The prices are just so different because we have to pay extra from an English club. That's
it's just the tax, isn't it?
Yeah, I know it's not a thing, but it is a thing at the same time.
Yeah.
The English Premier League tax is a thing. It's annoying, but at the end of the day, that tells you that the Premier League is one of the most competitive leagues in the world, because if you're selling to a team in the same league, you want that extra bit more because that player is probably going to score against you. Let's be honest. They normally do. How interesting is that? We're laughing at Arsenal wanting to sign Havertz. How crazy.
Oh, they got him.
The Vino, it's very close. I'm not sure it's been announced yet. But we'll get into another City player in a bit. We've got quite a bit to talk about, actually. How much of a City... Well, Kyle Walker's been linked away today, going to Bain. So quite a big one by the looks of it. I'm perfectly chilled, Tony. City don't want Rice, but would want to get him stuff. Yeah, they would, to be fair.
I think the City swap deal, whatever, with Rice, Phillips, I just don't. You got to look at it from a professional standpoint. Fair enough. You would hope if you're going to leave City for a sideways move, and that would be, but the only way really at the moment you could probably see would be maybe 1 or 2 teams in the Premiership. Then after that you're looking abroad. The thing is that I no disrespect to West Ham, but if he has any ambitions to become again that England regular, which he was during the Euros, West Ham I feel would be too much or too far a step down for him. I think Rice obviously was fine because he was a special talent. I'm not sure Calvin Phillips is that special.
Yeah, I'm with you, to be honest. Right, let's move on to the next story, and this is regarding our women's team, and the one that I'm very excited about. This is the best storyline for me today. We are close to signing Alessia Russo from Man United on a freebie, and you know why it's so amazing? In January, we offered them a world record transfer
million,
fee,
wasn't it?
Yeah, and they turned it down. They turned it down, and now we're going to get her for free. But anyway, look, she's getting a lot of stick on Twitter, and I don't think that is absolutely fair whatsoever. That is Man United's problem, not Alessia's. Alessia wants to go to a club, and I love the Man United fans that have come out and said that Man United women's are bigger than Arsenal. I'm sorry. I don't know what history you've been looking up, but Arsenal women's have got way more history than pretty much every club in England. Yes, Chelsea have done all right the past few seasons, but no. She's coming to a club that has struggled with big injuries this season. So I'm going to have a little bit of a rant here. I do apologise, everyone.
I'll sit back then and let you go.
We've been without Leah. We've been out without Beth. We've been out without Miedemeier. We've been out with who else went out in midfield? I can't remember the other one that went out in midfield. but we've had 4 massive injuries and we still qualified for the Champions League.
Yeah.
Like, seriously. And Man City couldn't even do that. Man City are paid fortunes for their players. They've gone crazy. You know, it's the City way. Same with the men's. They've gone crazy in the women's. And we've still managed to qualify for Champions League. I'm sorry, but she is coming to a better club. Her, with Blackstenius, if we still keep Blackstenius, with Hurtig, with Mead, with Miedemeier. Oh, my God, is she going to just... I can't wait. I cannot wait to see her in the Arsenal kit.
Service on the plate, I tell you.
She's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, you know, it's do you know what also as well? What was great about this deal, right, is the fact that it's a game changer in a sense that the wages that she will get, the way she can command it and say, okay, you're prepared to pay $1 million for me, compensate me to something. Obviously, I don't think she'll get $1 million, but if Arsenal were prepared to pay $1 million, I'm pretty sure a contract would be near that. 100%. And that's a game changer for the women's game, because if Arsenal are looking to pay those kind of wages for their players, you know, it's you know, like the John, you know, the Bosman deal. You know what happened there. It's a game changer. And this is, you know, these little kind of things, chinks and whatever in the whole history of the women's game. This is a big part of history in the women's game, because I'm pretty sure if she ain't going to be the best paid female player in the world, she's going to be down, you know, probably in the top 5.
Yeah, she's absolutely fantastic. I absolutely love her. And I know that Tony has also mentioned another one that I also want is Earps from also Man United. I want her as well. She's also on a free.
Yeah.
I also want Batil, the right back. She's on a free. Look, let's just raid Man United now. Improve our squad drastically. I'll always say this, and I say this on every stream I do for women's. I cannot see Zinsberger in goal. She gives me a nightmare. So yes, get Earps. Look, I love our women's team, but Zinsberger, please improve your goalkeeping, because you just give me nightmares. She wants to join a proper football club with actual history in women's football. Look, it was a heartbreaking video that I saw that she released. It was with a heavy heart that she's done this. But what were you going to say, Cameron? Sorry, mate.
No, I was just saying, with Arsenal, a lot of the women's matches now are actually, you know, more and more being played at the Emirates in front of huge crowds. You know, she must have seen that, and you know, especially with the crowds that we get at the Emirates for the women's game, it's fantastic.
It is.
I mean, gosh, playing in front of 60,000 people, you know, for certain games, definitely like the Tottenham game. They played at the Emirates. I'm pretty sure Chelsea, Man City, probably now Manchester United, and also certain Champions League games will get played at the Emirates and in front of big crowds. And it's a puller. As a player, that's what you want to do. You want to play in those kind of atmospheres. That's what being a pro footballer is about.
Yeah. What I will say, because I know you've just mentioned some of the stadiums, the Man City ladies have their own stadium, which is just outside the Etihad, I think. I'm not 100% sure on that.
Yeah.
Man United do not play in the best stadium. They really need to improve that, which is another reason maybe Alessia has just gone. You know, they're playing extra games at the Emirates for the Arsenal next season, with contract signed. So, you know, she's going to get to play and she's going to get to play in the Champions League as well. And I honestly do believe this. I was thinking this the other day. If Russo was playing against Wolfsburg when we're in semi-finals, I think we make the Champions League final, because that's what we were missing was Russo.
Yeah, I mean, that could have been Beth Mead playing as well, or Miedemeier also as well. But yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, gosh, the attack next season is going to be.
Yeah. Hope we keep Blackstenius. I think she really she's been brilliant this season, but I just think Blackstenius and Russo, phenomenal. But it would suggest to me that something might be happening with Blackstenius, because, you know, I can't see them two playing together, not with the way that Arsenal play. So this is a formation change. I'm not sure what Jonas has got planned, but we'll have to wait and see next season. Moss is on about Canadian, as surprisingly. I take David over Havertz, that's for sure. Yeah, exactly. He's got. Here we go. This is actually about it. Marnham, yup, and Blackstone has stepped it up. Yeah, Marnham, absolutely fantastic. She obviously signed her new deal as well. Huge representation. Right, let's try and actually find some comments that are actually right here. Men's and women's. Oh, that's what. Clip yourself, Tony. Clip your own comment.
Actually, do you want better? Go and get the odds from the bookies on that one, Mr. Fox.
Yeah. But yeah, let's move on to the next one. Let's I can't remember what order they're in now. Right, still a chance that we can sign Gundogan. Now he has been released. Obviously, a lot of the teams have released their retained lists today. Gundogan has gone. So now there is still an offer from City. They're still negotiating together. The offer from Arsenal is good because it's better than City's. It's a longer contract. There is a better one from, I think it's Barcelona that have offered a 3-year deal. But what I would say is we are still in the mix, which is positive news, because I would snap him up for 2 years. I'd have him because not only, yes, he might only have one good season in him, but for that, he's got that experience. He'll be able to talk to the youngsters. We've got some youngsters coming in.
Yeah.
So, Canners, what do you want to say about Gundogan?
Gosh, that would be a heck of a statement, wouldn't it? Really,
Yeah.
To get someone of his caliber in our squad, not only from the on pitch, but with Xhaka probably going, he steps into his shoes basically in terms of helping certain players or being that guy in the dressing room with that experience and knowing how to win and handle certain situations. This guy's done it all. From international World Cups, whatever. Fair enough, it's not been brilliant, for internationally the German team. Well, that's the German team. But however, from a domestic perspective, he's been fantastic. I would say if I was him, be it, this is probably his last contract.
Yeah.
Because of his age. I would probably say that we're in second position to get him up behind Barcelona.
Yeah.
For the fact that he might just think, look, I've done everything in the Premiership. Let me go and explore something new. But it also depends, as you alluded to before, in terms of family life. With Declan Rice and how young his family is, etc. And so those things do come into play. But I'm thinking if the Barcelona deal is a good one, they're back in the Champions League, aren't they? And they won their league. They seem to be on the up, and it kind of looks like it's starting to be an attractive place to be again. So I would probably say we're in second place behind Barcelona. But listen, I would have him in a heartbeat.
Yeah, so would I. Moss saying here, I think Gundogan and Xhaka want. Gundogan has actually turned down Dortmund, which if any club he would have signed for, it would be Dortmund because obviously that's where he came from. Yeah. So no, he doesn't want the Bundesliga. He doesn't want Saudi. He's also turned down Saudi Arabia as well. So it's looking like he kind of roughly knows what he wants to do. So look. I get that Canas is saying that Barcelona are probably in favourites, but I think if he needs to know the situation like registration with Barcelona, he's not going to want a load of mess like I'm going to have to wait until such and such has left and stuff like that because Barcelona is still in a mess.
Okay.
Yeah.
If in I guess in their Barcelona utopia, then I'll probably say that they're in the lead. But yeah, I mean, to be fair, I forgot all about all their troubles.
Yeah, they've got big problems. Do you think us signing Havertz would be another factor for Gundogan joining, having a German teammate at Arsenal? I don't think it's a big factor, but it could help us, to be honest.
I was going to say the same, yeah.
Yeah, it could be, yeah.
It can't hinder, right?
Well, exactly. And the fact that Mikel Arteta knows him, Gundogan as well. And look, there's another City player that we've been linked to, or ex-City player, I will say, that we've been linked with. So we'll talk about him as well. So, It's possible. That's why I put it. It's still possible that there is a chance because a lot of Arsenal fans have ruled it out, and I'm like, don't rule it out just yet.
Yeah.
Don't rule it out just yet. If I was him, I'd take the Barcelona offer. To be fair, says Luke, and James. Tony says interesting from James. Right, let's quickly talk over this because this is just funny. Arsenal will not pay crazy money. Now, it was 80 million. It's now 100 million for Caicedo.
Where are they going with this?
Chelsea are going to pay it. This is the thing. Chelsea will pay this. And what annoys me and what annoys me but also find funny is the player says he wants Champions League football. But he's
not
close
even
to
going to get Europe.
Yeah,
he's got
not
Europe, but he's going to come out of Europe.
Yeah. I find it funny now. Honestly, I don't want any more links with this guy because if that's his mentality, and I know the agent is a big problem in this because he's just demanding so much stupid money. I don't want to see another link with this guy now.
No,
because if he wants to choose Chelsea, when he said he wanted Champions League football, and trust me, the deal in January was so close with us, it's ridiculous. For me, it feels like we're being played by an agent again, which I just can't. I can't. Never brought into guys, like now, Bobby. Talk about my guy. I will talk about your guy very, very shortly. I'm pretty sure it's exactly. City still want Gundogan, Cancelo, and Walker are free. Will probably get that. I'm sorry. That is one stream I will not do. I will refuse to do it if we sign him. I will go no. Mainly because I can't say his name, but two, I don't like it. I just that is one guy I cannot have from Chelsea. I can't stand him. He winds me up when I watch him. He's nearly as bad as Bruno Fernandes, if I'm honest. He's nearly as bad. He's just winds me up. Right, let's move on to what Tony wants me to talk about. Right, there are two possibilities for the Caicedo who's not happening now. So it's Lavia or Onana, and I wanted to be Onana just so I can say Onana. What you need? No. That's all. Literally the only reason I wanted Onana to come in. But I prefer Lavia, and Moss will say how much I love Onana. I do love Onana. I was very excited for him to come to England, but Lavia is something different. He's something special. Right. Tony's getting excited.
Tony's getting all hyped up, isn't he?
Canners. Out of the two, there's probably going to be more links. Zubimendi's probably going to be a mention at some point because he's got a release clause. But out of these two specifically, who would you rather have?
Go on a screen. Simple. Yeah. There's a few players, over this course season that have kind of caught my eye. I'm surprised that we haven't been in, linked with him sooner, to be honest. But I'm not sure whether there's anything to do with Man City or whatever. But I think for us, this transfer makes absolute sense in the sense that the price won't be ridiculous because, Southampton have been relegated. And I think we get a potential beast of a player.
Yeah, 100%. I'm sorry, I was just reading some of the comments. Luke would rather have Lavia over Onana. Yeah, I'm with you. Look, I love Onana. Moss can say how much I wanted him to come from when Everton got him because I thought he looked very special in La Liga. But I've seen Lavia enough this season to go, wow, that kid is special.
I think Onana on the ball for the position he plays and how we want to play, Onana would have to take the ball from Ramsdale and then start attacks from us. And I don't think Onana can do that.
No. Tony is very adamant. Lavia over Caicedo. Lavia way bigger upside. Arteta can still mould him. As I said, this again is a Man City youth academy player. So again, Arteta will know him. And it's no coincidence that we get linked with a lot of people to do with Man City. And
I have a question for you, though, Bobby.
Yeah, go for it.
Lavia or informed Thomas Partey?
Lavia.
Wow.
Do you know what? I've never really been the greatest fan of Partey. Never have.
No. An informed Partey, for me, I think he's probably one of the best at what he does, and I'm talking in Europe, probably the world. I believe an informed Partey anyway. The way he can, take the ball off Ramsdale, be comfortable on the ball, and inform. Yeah, his
Yeah.
his form dropped or off a cliff, but yeah, really. So an informed Lavia, and Lavia over an informed Thomas Partey. Okay, I'm gonna
I've
have to
never
watch a
been
bit more
I've never
YouTube
been a
clips
big
on
fan of
Lavia.
Partey. I've never been
Okay,
a big fan of
no,
Partey.
that's
And
fair enough. That's
to be
an,
fair, I've had a lot. We've had a lot of those at Arsenal. Players I've just never been. Glenn Helder
yeah,
being one. A lot of people love him. I was like,
yeah.
what is
No,
his
no, no,
name?
no. Totally get it. Totally get it.
And I would never say that James is wrong about saying that about Lavia. Is not doesn't even lace TP5's boots.
Has
That's
he?
fine.
Is it?
Yeah, he said it up there. Look, it's my opinion. I'm not going to say anyone's wrong. If you think Partey's
I
way
mean,
better
I
than
have
Lavia,
the opinion about Odegaard. I think he's good, but he's not.
yeah,
I
and
think I actually think people overhype him, in my opinion. But yeah,
you're,
I
you're
get
lucky I'm
exactly
not
what you're
Moss.
saying.
That's all I'm saying. You're lucky I'm not Moss. But everyone's entitled to their opinion, and that is the
100%.
whole point. I do these shows, and I will never let anyone say you're wrong unless you're saying Odegaard's an alien. Then I'm going to say you're wrong because that is not accurate information. So there we go. Right, there's been a few comments regarding this one. Let's have a quick look. Lavia is cool for me, but get the rice deal done. The rice deal will be probably I'm saying probably only because medicals and stuff like that. But rice deal is what Arsenal are prioritising right now. There's other talk about other people and other negotiations going on, but they want rice deal done first. That is essential to Arsenal. Saying that, Sevo Fofana, yeah, I'm not a great fan of Fofana either. Thuram is heading to Liverpool at the moment, I would have thought. Please, for how far is Declan Rice still? Big up to Naya. Oh, crikey. Naya Kahuma John. I hope I've said your name right there. Right. As far as I'm concerned, I think we're just waiting for the second bid to either be accepted or rejected. And then we'll go in with the third one if required. But nothing regarding Declan will happen until he's back from, I think they play Macedonia on Monday, I think. Not that I care because England are playing now and I've not even got the TV on because I don't care.
True. Is the Macedonia game at home?
Yeah, the Macedonia. So he'll probably fly back tomorrow, I would have assumed. They'll fly back from Malta.
Right. If they really wanted to do it, I'm pretty sure that medicals could be done at St. George's Park.
Yeah, if Gareth Southgate allows that. Trust me, Gareth Southgate, and I will say this categorically, is not the nicest person to deal with. He's got this opinion that he is the god. Trust me, he's not. He's really not. But he's got this kind of complex about him. But look, as far as I'm concerned, I don't think anything regarding Declan will happen until Tuesday.
Yeah.
I mentioned something in the WhatsApp group that is still happening. There's something that's been booked for this week. I don't know who they are for yet, but we'll get into that. SMS Subamendi, there are lots. Subamendi is a very different deal. If you know anything about La Liga and what we had to do with Thomas Partey, with the release clause, you have to pay that amount, full sum, and that's what Arsenal don't particularly want to do.
No.
So that's like, I think it's about 53 million euros is his release.
Yeah, I saw that. They're between 53 and 56.
Yeah, so that means Arsenal physically have to go over to La Liga, pay that money to La Liga to release the clause, and then negotiate with Zubimendi. And Zubimendi doesn't even want to go to Barcelona. So it says to me, I don't think he wants to go anywhere. Now, I have no issues about any player that wants to continue playing at one club. I honestly think that Sociedad have a chance of winning stuff, unlike a certain other team that lives in London. I'm not having a pop at anybody here that's deciding to see how his contract. but seriously, Zubimendi is different. I think he can see something happening at Real Sociedad, and to be honest, so can I, because I think they're a special team.
Yeah.
They've been a good club for many years. They produce some amazing talent that goes under the radar so many times it annoys me. Lavia will be better than Partey, but not at the moment, but close. I think I'll actually celebrate Lavia signing more than Rice. This is how big I am. To be fair, I get it, because if you have a specific person that you want us to sign, like out of all this news tonight, who was I most excited about? Alessia Russo, because it's just something it's just something that excites you. Like Bergkamp excited me, but for a lot of people, it was David Platt at the time.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah.
So Lavia is ready now. Prem proven and Brenny, you said the Prem proven must have get us up with that. Upset with that one. After signing Lavia and Rice, should we keep Partey or Jorginho? I still believe that we're selling one of them. That's my theory. I think we're selling one of them. Let's just wait and see. But I think we're selling one of them, if I'm honest. With you, Tony Silver on the Lavia. Smash the likes, says Tony. Hello from DWTT. Hope you're doing well. My pod bro speaking facts about opinions. Look, it's always the way. I know Ross is now talking golf, so I'm going to skip that. No offense to Ross. We've got loads to talk about still, and we're like nearly an hour in. If you want Rice, let's act as a big club today. Arsenal more attractive than Man United. Zubimendi ain't leaving Spain, from what I hear. I don't think he's leaving Spain this summer, if I'm honest. We can literally go and pay that release clause, and nothing happens. So Arsenal would have to get some kind of feeling that Zubimendi is open to the idea.
I think you only do that kind of deal if you're sure that the player wants to come.
Yeah.
Because what's the point of going through all of that? It's not like to wire £56 million
Exactly.
is like, come on.
Zubimendi did say, you're reading too many rumours, mate. That's the problem with that one. Zubimendi has never said he wants to leave. If anything, he said he would like to go and make. I think, what did he say? He said he wanted to do something about his career, basically like what Kane's done, but with trophies. So I'll keep having a dig at Kane here. I don't know why. But he wants to leave a legacy. That's it. He wants to leave a legacy at a club. So I think he will stay at Sociedad for his career, if I'm honest. He's talking about another Canadian there. Arteta was in the row, so yes, he was. Chelsea want Caicedo as well as Lavia.
Chelsea want anything that wears a pair of shorts.
Yeah. See, Todd plays Monopoly. He just goes around the board by himself. He's the only person that's playing. He just goes every single board and goes, I'll buy that one, the brown house, the blue house, the pink house, the orange house. That's what Todd does. Yeah. He doesn't get any like collections to build hotels. He just builds loads of houses on the Monopoly. And if people understand Monopoly, you know what I'm on about. So I don't understand what they're trying to do. I mean, listen, I rate Pochettino as a coach, whatever, and I'm pretty sure you'll probably be able to get a tune out of some players, but who's actually recruiting for Chelsea? I mean, it's just nuts. I mean, I feel like they got a dartboard and just
with names on it. With names on, isn't it? Oh, damn, I hit number 3. Damn, that means
yeah. For me, I would like to see Arsenal steal Declan Rice as soon as possible. Look, guys, I honestly believe we will sign one player this week, guaranteed. I believe we will sign one. So
guaranteed.
Well, by the end of June, I did say I think we'll sign 3. So to get one this week will be a good start. So by the end of June, I expect us to get 3. And to be fair, Arsenal have categorically said this as well. They want to sign all their big players by the time they come back for pre-season. They want everybody up and running, ready to go.
Yeah.
So they're all training. I think, and I know James will have to try and work this out, but I think Arteta is tweaking the way that we play for next season, if I'm honest. And James will work out.
Especially the way we finished and how we finished.
Yeah.
Because when we played Wolves, we was very, very good.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah, 100%.
I know it's end of season, but hey.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to the next signing. Talking point. Arsenal in pole position to sign Moussa Diaby. We've just overtaken Newcastle, as in, nothing's close on this one at all. But we are favourites, supposedly, with the journalists to sign Moussa Diaby. Look, we are definitely going to sign a winger to give Saka some help. So look, there's going to be a lot. There's another one that I'm going to be mentioning in a bit. That's another winger that's been linked with us. Canners, yes or no to Diaby?
100% yes. I think again it'd be someone where the drop off will not be as huge because if Saka doesn't play,
Yeah,
who in the squad do we have that kind of kind of negates that drop off to such a degree? Listen, this kid can play, and it's a bit like every player in the squad has a dip in form, and if you look at it from the example of Man City, how much did Mahrez play towards the end of the season? He hardly, but do you know what I'm saying? He didn't really play that much. He played in odd games and stuff, but he was one of their best players, throughout the start and the middle of the season. But that's what you need to keep players fresh and keep players wanting, saying, "Oh, I should be playing, and then taking their chance when they actually get in the team. And this is again what I mean about having a squad of players where you do spend the big money, where there is that competition.
Yeah,
and this guy will provide that competition, a
100%.
genuine competition.
Yeah, and Moss and Luke both agreeing with this signing. Look, I like the kid. His season this season, I did look it up. He's played 48 games, 14 goals, 11 assists. So it's very much like Saka's standard. So and no one's going to say anything about the Bundesliga because trust me, it's not going to work with me because I rate the Bundesliga. So
100%. The major thing as well is the amount of games that he played as well. So someone who stays healthy is a big, massive factor. Yeah. In my opinion, if we can get it done, get it done.
Yeah. Tony, I swear everyone's read my script today. That is going to be updated later. I don't know how anyone's got my script is amazing me because no one lives near me. So I don't know how anyone's seen it. Right, let's move on to the next one. This is one very quick one. The FA have confirmed that the date for the Community Shield is the 6th of August. It's a Sunday. And Tony, I don't care. It's a 5:30 kickoff on a Sunday against Man City for the Community Shield. But just to let you know what Tony did say, Saka assist 1-0 England. Honestly, while Southgate is still the manager, I don't care about England.
That means that Kane scored, isn't it?
Yeah, probably. Mahrez scored a hat-trick and got benched. Look, Mahrez, as far as I'm aware, is heading to Saudi Arabia.
Why not? I mean, for him, it makes absolute sense.
Yeah.
You get a stupid amount of money. He's 31, is he?
Something like that,
yeah. He's Muslim as well. So for him, it's, it would be for him going back or going to a country where he will be 100% comfortable with in terms of, the Islamic culture and everything. So come on, for him and his family, they're going to be set for life.
Yeah. No, it was an own goal.
Oh,
Saka love passing as usual. I know Colm's got a bet on that England will score 4 tonight against Malta, but honestly, I don't care. I hate saying it. I love supporting England, but that
give us the international competition, then we get involved.
Yeah, a little bit. Right, let's move on to the next one. Arsenal have announced their retain list. Now, I have got the list of who's left. Zach Hoare has left Arsenal Football Club. Yes, my Zach has left. Joel Idaho has left. George Lewis has left. Matt Smith has finally left. He's 22 now.
Wow.
He's been through our academy for so many years. He's now left. Tom Smith, who was on loan at Colchester last season, goalkeeper, has left. And obviously the big one is Ainsley Maitland-Niles has officially left now. We'll go into 4 scholars that have also been announced. Khalil Green, he has already been signed up, which is brilliant news for him, by Colchester. He's an 18-year-old striker. Alexander Kovacic, 18-year-old goalkeeper, he has left. 18-year-old left-back called Tino Kumina has left. And Matthias Roberts, and I've starred him because that is the name I want you to remember, because I've heard very good things about this guy, and he has left us because he's done very well under 18 level, but they just couldn't agree a deal with him. So Matthias Roberts, keep an eye out for him. He's an 18-year-old attacking midfielder. He's had a cracking season at Arsenal under 18s. So please keep an eye out for him. Regarding the WSL, because obviously it's the same list, Mana Irabuchi has left, Rafael Sousa has left, and Fran Stenson has also left. So they're the 13 players that have left. Obviously, the biggest one is Ainsley Maitland-Niles, who's been with us for 20 years, I believe. Is it something like that?
Yeah.
And obviously that's him in the picture. I had to put his a picture there of Ainsley signing a contract when he was younger. Amazing. So yeah, what's saying? So yeah, honestly, Zachor really sad for me, but I am going to keep an eye on where he goes, and I will keep an eye on his career, because this is the thing: just because you don't make it Arsenal doesn't mean you don't make a career. We've had a lot of. We lost James Shea. I don't know if anyone remembers him. About 10 years ago, we let him go. He's number 2 goalkeeper at Luton.
Wow.
So, and a lot of people won't know that, but he was at Arsenal. He never managed to get an appearance with Arsenal, left. But a lot of our players have gone on to do well. So, Zachor, I definitely hope you do really well. I will keep an eye on his career, because everyone knows that I wanted him in my. I chose him a few times in my squads last season. So come on. So right, let's move on to the next story. 3 Arsenal players on show at the Under-21 Euro Championships. ESR is being one. Let us know about that. Obviously playing for England. Fabio Vieira has been picked by the Portuguese team. And what people don't know about Fabio Vieira, 2 years ago, he was player of the tournament. And for the under-21s, his appearances is 25. Guess how many goals he scored for the under-21s?
15?
14 goals.
Ooh,
14 goals in 25 appearances. And under-21s, before anyone says, oh, it's only under-21s, trust me, it's a very good competition. And also Tavares has also been selected by Portugal. We can all laugh at that because honestly,
I forgot all about him.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. It's mad. Luke, I will keep everyone up to date on people that I should recommend that you keep an eye on, because that's why I've wrote the list. I want to keep an eye on where they all go, because you know me and the youth at the Arsenal. I love them all. Akpom, yes, Akpom, Nabry, Musa has been linked with West Ham. He could be being replaced for the Declan Rice. So yeah, interesting one there. Banneker, Malam, Musa.
I think one of the most famous ones that we had that came bloody good was Andy Cole.
Yes, painful one.
That very, very, very painful.
And Devontae Cole was his son, plays for Barnsley. Barnsley. He was in the League One playoff final against Sheffield Wednesday. So yeah, look, I even follow the kids, because honestly, if the parent is talented, normally the kid is talented as well. So I normally keep an eye out for the kids. Obviously, Kevin Campbell's son is doing pretty well as well. Tyrese Campbell, he's doing well. I think he's at Stoke now, isn't he, Tyrese? So yeah. So Candace is learning something from me, obviously.
I am very much. So keep going. I mean, hey,
I always follow the kids, because normally it does follow the DNA. So yeah. I always just keep an eye on some of them.
What pressure it must be, to be the son of Pele or Maradona.
Exactly. Right, let's move on to the next talking point. And this is now paper talk. So it is paper talk, so don't worry, people. But Napoli are lining up Kivior to replace the Bayern Bound. And I did put that Bayern Bound just for a little bit of a dig at Man United, because Man United was so confident they were signing him. Kim Bain Jai. Look, as far as I've heard, Arsenal have gone no. There's no way we're selling. So I don't think he will leave, but Napoli are still keeping an eye on him, because obviously he did impress in Serie A.
We can give him it. Just give us Osimhen in the other direction.
Look, I signed him in my fantasy transfer window. I managed to get him in my team. Luke's asking, did you play against Andy Cole, Candace?
No, I just remember as a young kid just watching him, just thinking, wow. He played, I think it was some kind of Makita tournament for Arsenal. He come on a sub, Obviously George Graham days, but I think the reason why he left was just the fact that he thought he was good enough to play. Kevin Campbell was ahead of him.
Yeah.
He thought he was better than Campbell. George Graham said no. Went on loan to Bristol Rovers or City, I can't remember, but then made that move permanent, and that was it. I think we sold him for £500,000 or something like that, and then that was it. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, James, you're saying this. I think that might be what I mentioned at the beginning of the show. I did say that we had a bit turned down. It was broken news from a Chelsea correspondent. That wasn't Matt Law. That was Matt Gissing or something. I can't remember his name exactly, but he works for Demarcio. So I knew that was a pretty good one, to be fair. So yeah, I mentioned that at the beginning, but we will hopefully, because actually Havertz does want to come to Arsenal. You know, that for me is interesting.
It just do you know what? It just shows, right, how that we've got our Arsenal back.
Yeah,
it really does that. And I can't remember the game, but Vieira said it, that we are now a place where international players want to come to. And listen, who wouldn't want to play at the carpet?
Yeah. Rebel, I've seen your comment. Now I'll explain, and Tony can back me up on this. It was a heavy heart that I wanted to do the news tonight. I did want to do the Greece versus Ireland game, but it was with a heavy heart I decided to do the news because I'm doing Norway versus Scotland tomorrow. So I didn't have time to do it tomorrow. It's Father's Day on Sunday. Obviously, I don't want to stream on Father's Day. So it would have been pushed to Monday. But then I'm doing a stream with you on Monday, Rebel. So I can't move that either. So, you know, it would have ended up being Tuesday. So I had to do it tonight. Yeah, exactly. I can't find another way, any other time to do it. But it was with a heavy heart. Tony does know that this was a hard decision for me tonight because I did want to cover the Greece-Ireland game. Because honestly, Ireland, for anyone that loves international football, keep an eye out for the Irish team because they're very young and very talented. Yeah. Even their under-21s is very special. Even their women's are very special at the moment.
Okay.
So, yeah, so honestly, just keep an eye out for these. Wright came along and Cole went on loan to Bristol City, says Brenny. Couldn't get ahead of Wright and Campbell and Smith. And this is another thing, and you can all clip me saying this, but Kevin Campbell was another player I didn't rate at Arsenal. I would have rather have had Andy Cole because I didn't personally rate Kevin Campbell. When I saw him on the team sheet when I was a kid, obviously I was young when we were playing. He was playing. I was like, oh, it was just not someone I liked. And look, it's just everyone's different. You know, some people definitely didn't like Alan Smith. I loved Alan Smith.
I loved Alan Smith.
Yeah, but some people didn't.
Yeah. Alan Smith had his touch. He had the best touch ever.
Yeah. Right. I know that there was another comment about Ethan Nwaneri.
Yeah. Actually, I was going to ask
now,
you about it.
As far as I'm concerned, he's not going to be signing a deal at Arsenal. I've heard he's going to City. I hope I'm wrong. I really do hope I'm wrong on this one.
Wow.
But I don't think we've managed to keep him. I will let you know once I know for definite. But as far as I've heard, he's meant to be turning his head to City. Mainly because, and I've said this many times, a lot of our youngsters don't see a path into the first team because of the age that we're buying. I'll tell you what it is. It's because of the age profile we're buying. So they know that when we're buying someone, they're here for like 4 or 5 years. Like with City, they could go out and buy a 30-year-old, 31-year-old. That player, player a couple of behind them could go, oh, hang on. They just bought a 31-year-old. I've got a bit of a path there. But if we're signing 24-year-olds, they're here. They're meant to be here for at least 4 or 5 years. So that youngster is going, okay, where am I going to fit in here, guys? You know, do you understand that?
Yeah, no, I totally get that, and I get that. But whatever happened to that kind of mentality is like, you know what, suck that. I'm good enough. I'm gonna get in there.
Yeah,
you know, to fight for a position. That's the problem. See, I'm gonna sound so old now, but that's the problem now with modern day kids playing football is that they get everything given to them, and they don't need to fight for anything. I mean,
Yeah.
that kind of mentality, I get it. I get why they would have that.
Yeah.
But you've got nothing in this world is given, and they've got to realize that that's the same thing for football. And back yourself to be good enough to play in that first team and to get in there eventually.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's sad if he goes, because he must be about 16 now, and he's already playing like under 18, or under 23 football.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. It's going to be a shame, actually.
Yeah. What I will
he
say, the
goes.
only difference between Ethan and Caicedo has got extreme talent, and Arteta has seen that, and he's been training with the first team. And I do believe that, like with Nelson's not going to be the second choice. He'll be like the third choice, or like the Carabao Cup, FA Cup choice.
Yeah.
That's where Caicedo probably is as well. And then maybe in a couple of years' time, maybe he pushes. And we've got to be honest, sometimes Saka may have to be dropped at some point, because if Caicedo goes above him in talent, I'm going to pick Caicedo over Saka. I love Saka, but if Caicedo is better than him, I'm sorry, I'm picking Caicedo.
Yeah.
You know,
There's only so much you can pick a guy on his name, right?
Yeah, exactly. Luke asked me a question here. Is the Chelsea need to sell because of FFP? Not entirely. It is 100% true. They have to sell. Like, I don't know the exact amount of money, but they do have to sell by the 30th of June. It's all to do with account details, because it's part of the Premier League rules that you have to put in your accounts at a certain point. It's not the same as the taxman. It's a different date. It's all to do with seasons. So yes, they have to bring in an amount of money. I think it's quite a ridiculous amount, but I'm pretty sure they can do it because they've got the amount of personnel to sell. Again, it's not me having a dig. That's just actual facts. They have got a lot of players to sell, so they can do it. But they're obviously haggling a little bit for prices, which I do get. You know, they're not going to sell for the exact amount that they want to sell. They'll haggle.
They've got so many players. What happened to players like Brozier and all the Armando Brozier? They've got
Loftus-Cheek.
Loftus-Cheek.
Right. Okay. We're gonna sorry for people that's listening to this, but Loftus-Cheek, how much do you think Loftus-Cheek is actually on? I looked this up his
I reckon, right, because he was an England international, right? And sometimes those kind of things are wired into their contract. I reckon he's on about between 70 and 80 grand.
Really? Do you think it's higher or lower than that?
Stop here. He's higher, isn't he?
He's more than Eddie, mate.
Oh my god!
He's £120,000 a week.
Sorry,
that's his pay. £120,000 a week.
How is that club still going?
I don't know, mate. I really don't. Look, Mason Mount is on 80,000. Mason Mount is on £80,000 a week. Loftus-Cheek is on 120,000. Make it make sense, because trust me, it doesn't. It's not. Luke Chapman, big up to you. Honestly, the fact you said you're Northampton just pleases me, because I do the pyramid system for like watch-alongs. I go down all the way to National League. I love all the leagues, so you're very welcome here, Luke Chapman. Honestly, it doesn't matter what team you support.
All fans welcome, except for
exactly. Big Smudger fan is Brenny. We need either of them now. So I've probably gone way back to whatever you got. Look, this has been a great stream, but I've definitely gone off a tangent a few times. I do apologise.
That's
couldn't
what
hate
football
Smudger.
Arsenal does.
Yeah, Ian Wright is okay. I'm not going to say that out loud, because people that are listening on Spotify will probably think, "Oh, really?" No, I'm not. He looks a player too. Odegaard, Rice, Laver, it's going to be massive for me. Look, I warned everyone in the WhatsApp group, watch out for this summer. This is going to be a summer we've never seen at Arsenal before. If you got excited about Bergkamp and Platt and all that stuff, nah, rule that out. This is going to be huge. This is going to be massive. If we get all the targets we want, this will be massive. Poch is raving about Brozier apparently coming back from injury. Well, good, because Brozier has got the talent. I'll be honest. I think Brozier has got talent.
Very good. For a big lad, he's fast. He's very quick, and he's decent in the air. Good player. So I'm just wondering what I'm pretty sure Chelsea will go out and buy another forward anyway.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that they want a new striker, an actual striker that actually scores goals. It's amazing that. It's what strikers are meant to do. Right, let's move on to another winger that we have been linked with, and it's Chukwueze. I think that's how you say his name. Villarreal. He has got a release clause, but Villarreal have told the clubs that are interested that they can have him for 35 million euros, which is a bargain because he has played now. I remember Cannas saying 48 games, that's a lot. He's played 50 games this season. I know.
Wow.
And scored 13 goals and 11 assists. And he's very good. I do like him. And again, I think he's 24 as well. So again, perfect age profile for us.
As well.
Yeah, I know. I felt that when I was looking, because obviously I do a lot of research when I do all this.
Check his passport.
Yeah. And I was like, seriously? It's just mad. But yeah, would you take him? Because obviously you probably know him as well.
If I remember, he plays off the right, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
I remember he played against us in the semi-final of the Europa. There was a lot of talk about him then, and us. Yeah, I mean, for the price, it seems good. But if it's between him or
Diaby,
then I'm taking Diaby.
Okay,
both
even
of
if
them
it's
right, don't they?
Yeah, but if Diaby's going to cost around 50 to 60 million, would you want them slightly cheaper? See, that's what I've got, because I think what Arsenal are trying to do, they obviously know how much they can get in, how much they've got to start with.
Yeah.
So they're trying to fit who that. Obviously, that's what's happened with Caicedo. Caicedo's gone too much now, which means they'll have to cut back someone else, which they don't want to do. So they're going for cheaper alternatives, but still good ones.
I think if they could structure the deal for Diaby, I think they should go with that, because I actually do think that kid is close to Mane levels in terms of what he can become.
Yeah.
Whether he does realize that potential, I don't know. But yeah, Chukwueze, very, very good player. But I don't even think is he better than Pepe?
I like watching Chukwueze though. I didn't like watching Pepe. I enjoy watching him play because I don't want to say because everyone knows what I mean by dirty Martinelli. He's my dirty winger. He's nearly as dirty because you just don't know what he's going to do sometimes.
Yeah.
But he's also you can kind of read him a little bit as well. I do think he's got that ability to go, I don't know what he's going to do. Like with Saka, he's kind of a bit readable. Martinelli, he's not, because he just does whatever he wants.
I know exactly what you're saying. With Saka, the thing is you can read him, but you can't stop him. Yeah. That's a crazy thing. However, I think, do you know what? I've got this I know we want to get rid of Pepe, and I don't want to digress, but I actually think Pepe could come back with some kind of different mentality. And if he was to do something in pre-season, you never know. He might save us a bit of money. But I still think before we go for Chukwueze, we should go and try and get Diaby. But listen, a very, very, very capable and decent alternative if we do not get Diaby.
Yeah, Tony says he's a player. Luke, I have seen your question. I'll just leave that to the end. No difference between Chukwueze, the Nigerian, and Pepe. Pepe's got a bad mentality, where, as far as I've heard, Do
you think that was due to, though, with him and the state the club was in?
No.
Okay.
I just think it's him. There's certain players that you just have got a stinky attitude.
All right.
And we've probably played with them like at whatever level we've all played at. We've probably had players like that. And what Mikel Arteta won't have is a bad egg, which is absolutely fine. I think sometimes you're going to need a bad egg sometimes, but I think Pepe is the wrong type of bad egg to have because he is just grumpy. He's just a grumpy man. So personally, just get red. Stupid wages he's on as well, 140,000 Pepe's on. So just get rid of the guy. And honestly, I think it might have been Luke say about £1. Take £1. I don't care. Not that you can buy much for one. Can you buy Freddos for £1? I don't know. But you know,
I don't think you can even buy a paper, can you, for £1?
Look, as I said, this is all about different opinions.
100%.
For Toba saying Chukwueze is wasteful. Look, everyone's entitled to opinions. I've just given you his appearances this season, his goals and assists,
It's decent.
It's
in La
similar
Liga,
to Saka. It's similar to Saka. So you know, look, obviously we haven't watched him every single game, so we don't know how many chances he's get. Obviously, I haven't done his XG, and if anyone even pays attention to that rubbish, which I don't. But yeah, Tony's saying Diaby over Chuck. Fair enough. I'm trying to avoid any comments about England. Sorry, Diaby favourite over him, so that everyone prefers Diaby. Lacks Tekers for me. Chukwueze. Fair enough. More. Luke saying here, John Brady. Look, as far as I know, I'm pretty sure did they get promoted or they get relegated? I can't remember which one they got up in this Littlehampton. I'm pretty sure. I'll have to get back to you on that one, Luke. But yeah, I'll definitely penalty. But it's right. Here we go. If Pepe is any good at landscaping, there you go, Pepe. You've got employment.
He'll have a bad attitude. He'll always turn up late.
Yeah, like this is the last talking point, I promise now, guys. And yes, it is Tottenham based, unfortunately. However, we are still interested in Mark Gahey. However, Tottenham have moved ahead of others, including us, to sign him. Now, Crystal Palace wants 65 million for him. Tottenham have offered just over 45. I think there's a deal to be had for around 55. Arsenal want to spend about 50 million on the centre-back. So there's a deal to be had. Because I know that Tony said about updates on Mark Gahey, but currently Tottenham are ahead at the moment. But there's a long way to go in this transfer window, and centre-back is not a high priority for Arsenal. So that is more of a July, August signing, because it's not someone that it's essential to get in for pre-season, but it is someone that we do want to look at the centre back at some point, and obviously maybe move on someone as well in centre back, which we will have a personal little ceremony with Tony for that person that leaves.
You're full of digs today, you Bobby.
I was trying to be nice. Look, I know Tony. I know you got excited about that last night, but that was a Wally on Twitter that set up his name as Charles Watts and put that out there, and everyone went with it. It's false information.
Twitterverse got you.
Yeah, Twitter is a horrible place there for me. Better value out there for me. Look, I'm 100%. I want Satalo from Croatia, and that's 30 million. So I would want Satalo if I'm honest. Are Arsenal only doing imminent move for our targets? I'm skeptical of big signings. I expect at least. Now, big signings? I expect like 6 big signings in my terms. Big signing, as in players that are going to come in and actually build the squad. Yeah. But not big money. Declan is going to be big money. Right, but what I will say is, centre back wise for you, Canners, what would you be looking for as Arsenal are considering a new one? What would you be looking for in a centre back?
I think Mark Gray is would be a very, very good understudy or provide competition to Saliba. Again, he played with, is it Joachim Anderson?
Yes.
And they formed a very good partnership, to be fair. I actually thought Anderson was very good last season. But yeah, I still do think, though, even 40 million's a lot for him. He's decent. He's not tested in Europe or anything like that. When Palace have come against big teams, they have shipped goals in.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but again, it's the ridiculousness of the English market in terms of when they're selling to another English club, that Palace can want 60 million for him. For really, I would say this is his last season was his first full season, I would say.
Right, okay. Yeah.
decent player. I think if we was to get him, he'd be very good understudy or squad player for us. But I'm sure there's better out there.
Yeah. So I'm going to talk about his comment because I know that Luke has mentioned it already.
Right.
The new Puma kits for next season, along with training wear and accessories, will be revealed during the summer Northampton Town look. And I know Luke has said that I love a football shirt. I do. I really do. Because I was trying to get the Wrexham one, but the Wrexham one have got this strange designer which makes you have to get 2 sizes bigger than what you normally wear. And it's like, it plays with your head.
Figure hugging, isn't they?
Yeah, so I'm not too happy, but yeah, I will definitely look out. I always look out for new kits every season. So yeah, thank you very much for telling me that, Luke. I will be keeping an eye on it because yes, I might have a few shirts, just a few. Satana all day for Guna Greg. Big up to Charlotte King. What's happening? We've been talking about lots about football. Lots of Arsenal. Gone off tangents quite a few times because of me, but yeah, no, it is what it is. It's a Friday night. Party time. Costello, Lucabar, proper talent. Oh, okay. Yeah, Lucabar. Now I know you're about. Oh, dear. Okay, so Saka is down. Hurts.
Man down. Listen,
down.
Yeah, as long as he's fit, come 6th of August, I'm happy.
Yeah. Right, let's get into this question. Inter apparently in for Balogun. Do you know if this is true? Yes, it is true. Balogun is wanted by many, many clubs. He's probably one of the most wanted strikers this season. I'll be honest. More wanted, and I'm sorry, Moss, more wanted than Jonathan David is. Obviously, I hear about how many clubs want specific players. Balogun has a list of over 10 that want him. Obviously, we were asking for £34 million. I think we'll easily get that. I don't think there'll be any haggling. I think someone will be willing to pay that because I do believe he is that talented. Canners.
From the realms of... Sorry, go ahead.
No, you carry on because I was going to ask you a question after. So you carry on.
Would it be beyond the realms of possibility that someone like Chelsea could come in for him?
I don't believe Arsenal would sell to an English club for Balogun. I think that would be a mistake because I honestly think that Arsenal know the talent there, but he just doesn't fit the system. Plus, he won't sign a new contract. Plus, he does have a little bit of a attitude problem, which I did mention earlier that Arteta doesn't particularly like. But look, strikers do have attitudes. We know it with Ian Wright, but we all love him. He has definitely got an attitude. Alan Smith did a little bit as well. He had a bit of an attitude problem. But, lovely guy. We all love him. Gary Lineker, same. There's a lot of strikers that have attitudes. It just happens. It's this self-confidence thing, isn't it? But they have to believe in themselves.
They're a different breed, isn't it? Strikers.
Yeah,
so.
Very different breed. But yes, I do believe Balogun will go. I think it might take a while because I think he's going to have so many offers that he'll want to decide. So I don't expect him to leave until probably end of July, maybe. Obviously, I know he's playing the CONCACAF Gold Cup or whatever it's called in America now with Matt. So, yeah, for me, we're definitely selling him. I think 34 million is probably the lowest that we should ask. So, I'm happy that we actually get some proper money.
Yeah,
we're going to get some proper money for someone that's never really played in the Arsenal shirt.
And we got him for free. And
another dig, he's not going to be a dominant Solanke. Just saying. No, I didn't have another dig there. Right. Big up to everyone that's been in. We've gone for nearly an hour and a half. Look, when it's me by myself, it takes about 25 minutes, but I love having company.
I'm to blame then.
No, because otherwise it's just me talking. So I just literally go for the script. Job done. See you later. Bye-bye. So it's lovely actually being able to talk to someone. Instead of me just being my own little world and Saka back up. Awesome stuff. But guys, it's been an absolute pleasure. Been great chatting to everyone, listening to everyone's opinions. Like I've said, when it's me streaming, everyone's entitled to their own opinion. I will never say you're wrong unless you're calling Odegaard an alien. That's the only thing I will ever say. Haaland, possibly. Just saying, Haaland might be. Callus, where can people find you, mate?
You can always find me on Twitter and most definitely on the Armoury TV. Again, that's it really. That's where you can find me.
There you go. Kuna Greg, I like the idea. Forget Havertz, Balogun plus cash for Osimhen, surely. Napoli are one of the ones that have kind of looked into.
The thing is, though, would you not say that Balogun and Osimhen are kind of similar kind of profile of players?
No.
No?
I don't think Balogun can do a lot of the stuff that Osimhen can do. That's the reason why I don't think Balogun suits our system. I think he's a little bit light, if I'm honest. He's technically he's much better than Eddie, and he's probably slightly better than Jesus, if I'm honest, from what I've seen.
Wow.
I've seen a lot of Balogun, and I think he's better technically. But Jesus just does way more. Like I wasn't expecting the play that we got last summer. I was like, oh yeah, I'm happy. Then it was like Harry Potter's been released from the cupboard, and he's just all excited and just doing all this stuff I've never seen him do at City, and I just love seeing it.
Yeah, I mean, seeing like when Jesus, like the ball comes from the air with snow on it, it's so high in the air, and he just like brings it down like it's like nothing. You know, that those kind of the thing when I see Jesus do that, I'm just like wowed. And you're saying that Balogun's technically better than Jesus?
Well, I think so. If you get to see him, you'll see the actual technical ability he's got, but there's so much more to Jesus's game. Like I don't think Balogun could do the pressing that Jesus does. He hasn't got he's not physically strong enough. Jesus is pretty strong compared to Balogun. So yeah, I can understand why Balogun doesn't fit our system. I think he's going to be a very good talent, and I think he's going to be someone that smashed it very well at other clubs, just not at Arsenal. And sometimes that just happens. I will always go back to the same person, Benicophobe. Just wrong time at Arsenal.
He was a talent, wasn't he?
Because I got to see him at Wolves, because obviously he's signed for Wolves, and I obviously live in Wolves. And I enjoyed watching him play every single game because he was just so fun to watch. So talented. Scored loads of goals as well.
Yeah, so decent.
Yeah, so guys, again, I've gone off tangent. I do apologise.
Sorry, my fault. Me asking you a question.
Guys, I will be back tomorrow with Moss, actually. It is Moss versus Bobby, otherwise known as Norway versus Scotland. And it's obviously Odegaard versus Tierney. So, guys, I will be back tomorrow for a watch along at 5. So take care, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.